And SaaS is not bad, don't get me wrong. But with SaaS, it's just like I buy a tool and it solves stuff for me. Yes, so I input one prompt and I'm done. No, man,
Yep.
you're not done. That's where the work starts.
In this very first episode of the Oddinary Marketing Ops podcast, I'm joined by a guest who truly deserves to kick things off. Frans Riemersma is the founder of MartechTribe in the Netherlands. Frans is a renowned Martech and marketing ops analyst and consultant. Together with Scott Brinker, he's the co-publisher of the MartechMap.com. Furthermore, Frans is an author, keynote speaker, and business university lecturer. Frans is one of those voices in our industry who consistently reminds us that it's about the customer first, never the technology. As he puts it, marketing is telling the customer story at the boardroom table. Frans and I have known each other since the summer of 2019. We've also met at multiple conferences across the continents, shared stages on several occasions, and I genuinely consider him a good friend. In this episode, we're doing what we would like to call a remote hike. Frans walking in Amsterdam in the Netherlands, me here in Trondheim, Norway, while tackling some big questions about marketing itself, like which skills have become obsolete and which ones are now essential. How do you know if your marketing is reaching real people in a world full of fake profiles and bots? And is AI making marketing better or just more complicated? Let's walk. So, Frans, you were here like 2-3 weeks ago and in Trondheim, and we did a hike.
Yes.
We documented the hike, but we never got to the questions that I wanted to ask you. So I'm really happy that you wanted to take me up on this and actually do the hike across almost time zones, but at least across many borders and many miles.
Yes.
So this is the first one for me, and I do believe it's the first one for you.
It is.
Doing
It's
it
a
like this.
remote hike.
Yeah, it's a remote hike. That was a good call. So, it may actually be called remote hike. Frans Riemersma coined it. So,
A new thing.
so the new thing. So actually, what we're gonna do right now, if I'm not approached by any moose or bears, not bears like drinking in France, no, like walking bears.
Yes.
If I'm not approached by any of those, we will go through 5 questions that I have
Right.
planned for you. I think you glanced at them when you were here in Trondheim, but I don't think you remember them. So
Yeah, I do. They're about Martech.
no, today it's about marketing.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, so this is for the viewers, this is the first of 3 parts Frans and I am doing on these remote hikes. You see, it works. Remote hikes. Yeah. So Frans,
Cool.
the first question in regards to marketing, it has to do with skills evolution. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm wondering, what one skill that used to be important in marketing is now almost useless, in your opinion?
Now almost useless. I'm afraid if I am allowed to flip it, for years on
Yeah.
end, maybe even decades, we've been so inundated by technology advancements that many of the core Martech skills, or maybe even the one Martech skill, which is bringing revenue, has, not really grown or really been put to the background. And I think now with AI and all the developments, we can now finally become marketers again, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. But you took the second half of the question because going to follow up with what new skill has quickly become a must-have, right? I think you answered that one.
Yes.
You
Yeah,
did.
and it's not even a new skill. It's really actually, Morten, this is interesting. What
Yeah.
outperformers have done, regardless all innovations in technology, resiliently in the same way for decades, is just ignore the technology, play with it, understand it deeply, but always make it a means to an end. So always make sure it's part of, reverse engineering a customer experience that brings money. So it's really like, what is this customer trying to say, trying to solve, and are we doing that? And if you reverse engineer then in any technology, doesn't matter what is the, I don't know, the technology, the innovation of the moment, then you're good. And I think that is the skill now, maybe even the low performers, if that's an ugly word, but the outperformers do this regardless of anything. So they play with the new technologies, embrace it, but make sure that it's always subject to the customer experience, not the other way around. And I hope now also, because with AI, everything becomes more commoditized, that the entire market is able to become marketer again, which means just listen to humans, listen to their needs, play into it, and then make money.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. Uh, yeah. I actually, I don't think I have anything to add to that because it's it's I talked to this client the other day actually, and I thought it was my line, right? Like, there's so many people or businesses doing marketing, just
Yeah,
just doing their tasks. We delivered this campaign, check. This other campaign, check. Oh, we've done 10 campaigns. We're so good, right? We have so much traffic to our website, uh, so many downloads, all the vanity metrics, right? And
yeah,
so this client said, but that's not how to do it, right? You need to close it to the or kind of tie it to the revenue, to the sales. And I'm like,
yes, always.
that was my line. That was what I was going to tell you. And so there was a really good meeting, as you can understand, because finally here was a client that
Yeah,
actually had that um, way of looking at marketing, and it's always warms my heart when you find people in marketing or even above marketing in a business that like think in that way,
yes,
sees it in that way. So yeah, uh, great. I think
100%.
we're ready for some trust issues. Are you ready?
Yes, go ahead.
With so many fake profiles and false engagement online, how can brands tell if their marketing is actually reaching real people?
Well, my answer is that fake profiles cannot, make a purchase. And this is a very big mistake in marketing all the time. That when I teach in business schools, they have to create a plan based on the real data, and they never start with the client data, always with the lead data. But that's looking, from the wrong angle and taking it from the wrong end of the stick. What you should do is first look at the customers that make money for you, for your company, with which product, and then reverse engineer. Try to figure out, okay, did they come in through this channel and Facebook or LinkedIn, or was it this or that? And then you cannot help but work with real life email addresses or unique golden records or whatever you want to call it. And then people go like, yeah, but Frans, I cannot do this for the entire database. You don't have to. You just take, 20, 30%, and you get a pretty good idea. If you still don't, we'll take a larger sample but that's how you familiarize, and you will be an expert in your client base in no time. It's crazy. I see these people grow in 2-3 sessions, like half an hour in between they do the homework, data homework. They talk to sales because that's what they haven't done. Many people are even scared
Uh-huh.
of sales people.
Yeah.
I think bears around you are more dangerous, but but I think this is a very simple step. Just do it and involve them. And many salespeople, I remember this guy who went over to sales and marketing guy, and the sales department said, "Wow, you're the first one in 25 years that even opened the door here." I mean, that is
Huh.
on us. That is on marketing. That's not good.
That's not good at all. Uh, and I'm thinking actually, that when it comes to like people wondering about how to, find out if it's real people, etc. I'm thinking if you have attribution, like you have your campaigns, you run your campaigns, and you have the campaigns properly tracked, like with the
Yeah.
UTM tracking and Facebook Click ID and Google Click ID and everything into your systems, and you see that they start doing things on your website, right? They start interact with your website. They start like even buying from you. Then you
Yeah.
can see the impact of the campaign and see that, okay, this campaign is actually reaching real people.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, I think it's a kind of easy thing to um, solve, or not solve, but um, understand and get an overview of. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. And it will grow your confidence in no time. You will be the one person that people probably go to and go like, "Hey, you did this exercise." And you go like, "I don't know everything, and I
yeah,
don't know everybody in the database, but I have a fairly good idea where they switch on and where they switch off.
yeah,
And maybe even why. If you sit together with sales, you can say, what's the psychology behind the fact that they switch off? What would you do? Did you talk to customers that switched off because of XYZ? And that's such a powerful journey. And this is what I was talking earlier about. This is the marketing skill that you really, really need. The company needs.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah. I fully agree. I think we should move on to the third question of the day. How is AI changing the way brands get noticed online? Is AI making marketing better or just
Mhm.
more complicated?
It completely changed the game from search engine optimization to what is it, LLM or AI assistant optimization? If AI assistant is the container term for ChatGPT and Claude and what have you.
I think that is actually a great imagery of where we are at, because I've heard like 10 different uh, you know explanations of it, like GEO, AIO, or AEO. I mean, LLM. It's for search engine optimization we have SEO, but like for when it comes to
Yeah.
AI optimization we have 10 or many different terms, and so I think that's a good
Yes.
telling of where we are at right now when it comes to that. But yeah, continue. Sorry.
Yeah. No. And how it changes the game. What I learned so far, that two things that are really important. Because on the internet, like it or not, we only produce content, right? To make money,
Yep.
directly,
Yep.
indirectly. So basically, you have publishers that earn their living, earn money with content creation. These people are now
Yep.
really suffering because AI is using those sources to create really good answers, but these people are no longer paid. So you see the number of visitors and subscriptions from Washington and or Wall Street Journal, for instance, Business Insider, go down. So they're working on some ideas to make sure you can monetize it with a kind of a Spotify type of model. Cloudflare is involved. I don't know where this is going, but they understand it's critical. So this is where content is your product. Now, many brands don't do this. Their content is their promotion, the other P of the 4 Ps from Kotler. So if it's promotion, then you have to make sure, and this is what I see happening already, is that many brands show their unique expertise in the field, the reasons why they started this business and how you can do X, Y, Z in a better way, a healthier way. And that is a really good development, I think, because this way they show up more in the results of an AI assistant. And this is what you're talking about, the AI SO, or however you want to give it an acronym. So that
Yeah.
is the other option. Two ways. Do you make money with content, or do you directly or indirectly? That's the question. What do you think?
I've seen a lot of, I think it makes it more complicated than all the AI gurus on LinkedIn wants it to be. I saw this really awesome post yesterday where somebody like started with the usual, I just replaced my 15 people team with an AI prompt or something like that. And then they proceeded to actually write how that went, like what's the work behind the AI agent and everything. Like it was you understand that, okay, so
Mm,
AI is a great tool, but it's not a press play button. Right? It's
no. Yeah.
you have to put in a lot of work if you want really good results out of a AI prompt. You need to put a lot of work and effort into the prompt, right?
Yeah, 100%. So 2 days, 3 days ago, I posted something because there was a report published by MIT that only 5% of AI projects make it into production at the moment. It was the third report I've seen this year. There was one in January, one in April, I think, by Gartner, and then now. So what's happening there is that, 3 is a trend. That's what they say. 3 is a crowd, 3 is a trend. Let's see where it goes. But I think we're at a pivotal moment in the hype cycle. Until now, you could say it has been a hype, AI. And this is where it was basically the sensation, the feeling of, oh my God, it's coming for my job. It's replacing humans. And then if you look at the post you were talking about, it takes a lot of effort. You have to work. And by the way, replacing people is not a goal in itself. You want an outcome. So what you see now is that it goes from it replaces humans to humans in the loop because somebody has to put those prompts into order. And one of the things, and I could be completely off here, but when I try those big prompts that people post on LinkedIn, they fail. And if you do them 10 times, they give like, I don't know, half different answers. So I normally use a completely different. I use very small prompts that serve me, and I want to get a specific output built into something. So I need to have a kind of a prompting strategy to get my total result. And this is, I think, what I also see with AI agents that I'm building with my team. 10 times you run the same AI agent that has maybe only one prompt in there. Out of the 10, one time it goes completely off. And you go like, what did you just do? So you need humans in the loop, at least for now. And maybe later on it gets smarter and smarter, and it will get smarter and smarter, but you need humans in the loop. And many people say, and I'm not sure if I agree, but I could disagree with myself in a year or now. But many people say it makes you how do you say, less smart, dumber AI. I disagree because you now have to ask the intelligent questions to get the right prompts. It's not prompting, and you can even ask in Claude. Claude is really good at creating prompts that you can use in Gemini or wherever. And they go like, but still, I need to write that down. It's me who's doing the thinking. They spit out stuff, and if it doesn't make sense, I'm the only person who can say it doesn't make sense. They will not tell you. So humans in the loop always. So I don't think it will replace us, and I don't think it will make us dumber. But you have to use it in a smart way. But this is just me. What are your experiences, Martin?
I uh, I think that well, my experience when it comes to AI and prompting, it's I don't use templates, right?
No,
I
no.
I why would I use a template? Uh, it's like one guy on LinkedIn saying that, oh, I got the lottery numbers for next week. So comment lottery or winner to get the lottery numbers for next week. So then you have like 5,000 people taking the lottery numbers. And guess what? Nobody will be a millionaire because it's the first prize divided by 5,000. It's like, uh, I'm like, I don't understand it. Why would you want to use the same template like 1,000 other people, or maybe even 10 of those that actually download the template and start using it? But still,
I want to stop you here. You hit the nail on the head. Why would you want to use the exact same prompt that somebody else used? And the reason is this: we're using big prompts and reusing prompts because we still think in a software way. We think in a software or SaaS. And SaaS is not bad, don't get me wrong. But with SaaS, it's just like I buy a tool and it solves stuff for me. Yes, so I input one prompt and I'm done. No, man,
yeah,
you're not done. That's where the work starts. Then you have to
yeah,
polish, it's like a sculpture and you have to work on the stuff. And I remember, okay, now my gray hair are really showing. I remember I did my thesis on a laptop and I was the only student in the university, at least in my faculty, doing that. What happened is that it took an equal amount of time um, doing this on the laptop or on a typewriter. The only difference was I had 1,000 shots with a laptop and only one shot with a typewriter.
yeah,
So the time was the same, but the output was much better.
yeah. That's a good one.
Just being aware of some of the cows I see over there, or the Scottish Highlanders. What are they doing in the Netherlands? They
Yeah,
completely. I'll
the
ask for the
Scottish
passport.
Downlanders, the
Yeah, the
Highlanders in
Scottish.
Scotland. Yeah, no. I mean
Yeah,
Highlanders in Netherlands. It's like, yeah, right. Uh
I think there was
good
this
one.
program for Scottish Highlanders with fear of heights. So maybe Holland is better then.
A great one. Advertising shift. Do you think ads are becoming less useful, or are they just showing up in new forms, like through AI assistants and smart devices?
Well, if there's one thing we learned from Google, the Google search engine, is that advertising only works if it doesn't look like advertising. And yet it's still recognizable as such, but not in your face, in your way. You're trying to get, search results. I
Yeah.
don't expect that AI assistant manufacturers will make the same mistake. I think they learn from this and they go like, yeah, if we put all that stuff in there, that wouldn't be good. So I'm not sure how they will monetize it in an advertising way, which that resembles what Google did. So I'm not sure. I can imagine that AI will impact. Probably, there's this contextual advertising people are talking about. So that without cookies or whatever, you can still see, okay, they're on this page. So probably they're looking for XYZ, maybe linked
Hmm.
to cookies and or first party data. And then you get an idea of where it's headed and what they're looking for.
Yeah.
So,
Good.
and then of course the content itself will probably be changed and maybe even generated real time.
Yeah. I'm thinking, I don't think that it will be as much like in AI assistants and stuff, because
No,
imagine you're uh, researching stuff, or you're telling your AI assistant to find the best find a restaurant doing this or
yeah.
that, and then it will start telling you about a lot of other stuff, right?
Yes.
which you didn't ask for, then you will feel like, okay, so this this AI assistant is corrupted, it's not working, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm not sure actually where that will go from here. Uh,
Um, I heard a nice example back at in London from an Uber marketer who was presenting for Juan Mendoza's event.
yeah,
Um, and he explained, he said, so in Uber, we allow advertising, but it's highly targeted and relevant. How do they do it? So by looking at the destination, they can tell more or less if they're going to a party or they going to a birthday or whatever. They had some algorithms there. And then they
okay,
would present to you if you would like to buy a bottle of champagne or flowers or what have you. And here's the
huh,
trick, is that we didn't offer many bottles. It was just one. Not many flowers, just one.
yeah,
So it was not overwhelming, it was not in your face, and you could just, take it from there. Yes, no, simple. So it's not
yep,
annoying. And yeah, and it was helpful because you were already in the car, in the taxi, in the Uber, driving to your destination. So all is good.
yeah. That I think if you can make it like an add-on, like uh
Yes,
like serve the purpose or serve the request first, right?
yes,
So
yes,
if you like when you look at YouTube, don't use the AI assistant advertising as a pre-roll, but a uh, post-roll. So
yes,
you get your content, you get your stuff or your service like in Uber, and then you get some add-ons, like some
yes,
extra service. And as long as it's relevant, it will be it will be it will you will feel that this is actually really added value to your request or to uh, your mission or what you're
Well,
doing.
and what they did is exactly what we explained and talked about in the first two questions was reverse engineering. Does it really generate money? Are people turned off? Does it make money? And only then they proceed. They continue and refine and improve, and that's how you do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cool. Yeah,
yeah,
I
absolutely,
really yeah. I don't have anything to add to that. It's a really
brilliant.
yeah. So when it comes to a close for the this marketing remote hike, um, my last question is about measuring success. Like, oops, I almost lost my balance. So, last question, measuring success. If traditional measures like clicks or likes are less reliable now, how should companies judge if their marketing is working? I have my opinion, but I want to hear yours.
A couple of months ago, I saw a post from someone talking about, why is marketing measured by revenue? Um, and I think, I'm sorry, but I think it should be kind of directly, indirectly. And
Yeah,
I think the pain of that question was really in, we have to generate, so much money in 1 week, 1 month, 1 quarter, especially for the stock listed companies. I'm with them. That's, that's most likely killing the revenue in the long term. And sometimes you just need a longer runway to make sure you have the right traction and then build it. Again, outperforming brands understand this. And I think that's the big thing. So for me, it's customer lifetime value, cost of acquisition, revenue driven type of stuff, and then reverse engineer. And that suddenly you learn like, oh, but the click through rate is not important. The open rate turns out to be a really predictive data point and KPI that we should measure. Now, try to figure out what is a real open rate and what is not a real open rate. And now you become a kind of an expert or scientist on the open rate. And then you start to learn, okay, but this is a false one, this is a right one, this is how we track it. And there's always, it's not, you're not running a university, so you're never 100% right. But why would you? You're not writing a thesis to to get a doctorate a degree. So make sure you're like 90% accurate or something. You're close, you have a good hunch, and then share it with your team, and they will say, yeah, this makes sense, or it doesn't, or to the left, to the right. And once you agree, then make sure you refine that data point over the years, over the months.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah, I think that is really to the point. I think it kind of like it was actually kind of a trick question of some sort, but not really, because it's like the thing is that like traditional measures like clicks or likes and stuff, it's it's basically vanity metrics, right? So
It can
it's
be if it's not linked to a revenue output, a revenue type of thing. You want to create money. For me, marketing is really driving the revenue of the future.
yeah,
Whereas other departments are really, like product and support. They're driving the revenue of today. And many companies don't understand that. So yeah, I learned, for instance, I can tell you from the business university. People came to me and said, Frans, I did my analysis. There's something I don't understand. There's a very strong correlation between our leads that will turn into customers and newsletter subscriptions and open rates. And for the life of it, I don't understand why. I said, doesn't matter. If this is a predictive data point, use it for now and keep trying to understand why it is. And I think this is how you fill the gaps and the pieces of the puzzle and understand this is exactly how my client ticks. So were they first in the newsletter and then became client? Or was it the other way around? Or is it some other variation? That's what you have to figure out. And I tell my the marketers that take part at the business university, 20 years in their job, I tell them, you should be a pit bull and a Sherlock Holmes at the same time. That's what you have to do. You have to be the Sherlock Holmes of the company with a pit bull mentality. And then you'll find
huh,
out, okay, this is working or this is not working. And that's the only thing that counts. And I will tell you, this is the fastest way to earn a lot of respect, if that's an important thing, or at least people listening to you invite you to boardroom meetings if you do this. It's crazy. Every single time we do this, management teams, they don't even blink their eyes and say, yes, please do this. And for the life of it, I don't know why we don't do this on a regular basis. A kind of a, what is it? Business case portfolio.
yeah. You know what? This is I kind of wrote it as a trick question, but it wasn't. It turns out it wasn't because you know, I asked you the question and uh damn, that was a deep one, but it's not maybe not as deep as the path I just crossed, but
Oof.
but
Oh
really
boy.
I dig it. It's hmm. I need actually to re-listen to this recording when I get back
Great.
and take notes. To those listening to this or looking at this, they should take notes. They should and if they're really serious, I think they should find a way to enroll at the university where you teach.
So, yeah, it's a lot of fun. The other day I presented about
Yeah.
exactly this. I call this the one skill to master
Yeah.
15,000 tools, AI, and make money. And recently I was presenting this. And I was in a breakout session, and the fire department had to close the doors because they said there are too many people in the room.
Cool. I think that we are. Well, I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm like in the middle of the woods, but I think we're at the end of this marketing remote hike for today. And Frans, it's been a pleasure. It was really awesome to get to do this, even though it's remote. But actually, that was quite fun too. Thanks for doing this, Frans. See you soon.
See you soon. Thank you, sir.